Welcome, collective, to all of those of you that are tuning in. This is a message from Spirit, and I am sharing with you a way that I prepare for prayer, connection to my ancestors, co-creators, particularly those divine co-creators with whom I am always in advisement, consultation, exchange. This is also a way that I prepare for intention setting by using the 7 chakras. And this is a way to not only connect with your body, but a way of uh, creating that channel of light, that spark of light that you already are, and helping to support that in the present moment. This is on the eve of the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, so we are all in a kind of rest mode, a kind of preparation mode where we are capturing and what has been already emphasized by the new moon in Sagittarius, this wisdom of the endings that we are in the process of in preparation for new beginnings in 2026. So I'm starting here, unfortunately, uh, framing this in a way that actually aligns physically with the spine is difficult. So I'm doing it from the first chakra through the 7th chakra. And I am using tarot cards exclusively for this particular reading. So the first chakra, the Justice card. Well, this is the first chakra is really the root chakra, the way that we are grounded and setting clear, firm, practical, and realistic intentions. The way that we organize the work that we do in the most practical, effective way. And justice is beautiful here because it is indicating that we are utilizing our experience to identify those practical, realistic goals, yet those that harmonize with who we are and the person we are becoming. The Justice card is about that balance, how you balance with your experience, who you were then, and who you are now, who you wish to become. So this is beautiful energy, really focusing on the work ahead, owning the work, and committing to the goals that you've set out to yourself in a methodical, procedural way. There's no hurry here with the Justice. It's taken you a while to understand the lessons that you have gained from experiences. And for many of us, these are the experiences that have been transformative, taking us from our childhood, our infancy, our decision to be here in this life, through to moving through the lessons of empowerment. So we are no longer dictated to, expected of, but instead we have internalized those lessons and the gifts that we are, the gifts that we have in order to move forward in a more balanced way that allows us to serve the world. In the 2nd chakra, the sacral chakra is really the part of our experience, sensual experience in the world. This is where we utilize all of our senses to experience the pleasure, the bounty, the richness of life. This we experience absolutely in our body and through our senses. And this is a beautiful boon of creativity, sexual experience. The 2 of Wands here is about you recognizing where you are now. That can be in an area of strength, a place where you have identified your particular gift, and you are now employing the reach of that gift to enter into new, unfamiliar places. You know what you do well, you know what you are successful at, but you want to serve more in other contexts. In other words, you want to grow, you want to move. And this feels for many of you that you are instituting or creating a plan, considering the next move or a move in a brand new direction. This sometimes implies a way that you have been waiting or contemplating the various uh, resources in the world that you can utilize, looking at all of the possibilities in a way that requires you to pause. So this is really effective during this time of the year because we are being asked during the winter solstice specifically to pause, to consider what it is that we are moving towards, what our goals precisely are, where we're being inspired and moved, and where we're willing to step out of our comfort zone to a new arena. In the third chakra, this is the chakra of your confidence, your ability to assert yourself. This is where you feel judged, sometimes in advance of judging others, anticipating the judgment of others. So this can be a place where there is a lot of social wounding we've experienced, a lot of way in which we've had to learn to, for some of us, fake it until we make it, and allow the experience of completion, achievement, uh, following through to gain us the beautiful confidence of the King of Wands. The King of Wands is supporting this place of your gift, leaning into your gift, taking authority, mastery over your gift, your heart, your inspiration, the desire to explore, to expand, what you're willing to discover about yourself. Fearless, heedless of the conclusion or a destination, confident that if you move from your heart, if you move forward, modeling your own practice is what inspires others. This is you stepping into those places of leadership, not by virtue of desiring to control others, but in a place of knowing that your vision can bring light to others, can motivate others to move with you. In that way, you see yourself as pointing the way, leading the way, not in dictating the terms of the way or defining the way. This is really beautiful energy that is anticipating this fullness of heart, this ability to claim what it is you desire and to stand by that confidently. The fourth chakra is the heart chakra. And this really is at the center. And I have here a cowrie, a particular kind of cowrie shell that for me exemplifies the energy of uh, the crossroads, the center, the priority of self, the meeting of the self with others. And so the world card here is about uh, acknowledging and receiving your rewards for what you have achieved, what you are closing out, what you are finding closure to now. And this is a necessary step in order to be able to fully commit to a new path. So here you are being recognized, or you're honoring yourself, you're centering yourself and recognizing all that you've achieved, particularly in 2025, a very dense and intense year for many. And you are taking the lessons you've learned, the way in which this achievement has prepared you to move forward as a model, as the confidence needed to step up to a different level. You're acknowledging the phenomenal growth that takes you beyond seeking the approval of others, and yet receiving the rewards, receiving the recognition, not shying away from the acknowledgement for what you've achieved. And this can be a difficult place for many of us to wrap up something with a sense of accomplishment, of finality, of understanding that the difficulties we've encountered and overcome have really built into us a sense of process and seeing something through from start to finish. And no matter where it has ended up, whether it is a sense of achievement and accomplishment or a sense of failure or I need to do that again, there are lessons, valuable lessons learned in either and all fronts. So there is nothing about this that it signifies the end. It signifies closure and the preparation to move forward again. At the heart, you are again prioritizing yourself and your gift, claiming what it is you've achieved, how you've reconfigured that, how you're reassembling that desire and moving that forward at a new level. In the fifth chakra, this is the third eye. And this is where we tell our story. This is our voice. This is the versions of ourselves that we've come to honor and respect, understand that they have, in fact, been opportunities for growth. The Three of Cups is really a celebration here of the way in which you have identified your story through the support of others, through the presence of those that have been there for you. These others can be lifelong friends, they can be family members, loved ones, spouses, they can be those that have passed, those with whom you shared a deep connection and who are there for you to experience, to share your stories, all of your stories, not the happy ever after stories, but the stories and the intimacy, the vulnerability that is required to open yourself up in a way with those you trust, those who you know protect you. And this is really about your sharing in an environment that is safe and your receiving, listening to, supporting those who are going through their own story, their own narratives. These are people that see all of you in a way that allows them to celebrate, to acknowledge, and help you to recognize how much love and support you have around you, how relevant your story is to others, how important your voice is. And for many of you, this can involve not only telling your story or narrating your story, but also writing your story, the ways that you employ your thoughts to create a tale, to create a unit or a complete experience of your life, your lessons, your failures, as well as your achievements. So this love, this support you have are people that are watching you, listening to you, and understanding the value of your experience. I'm going to clarify the heart and the throat chakras. I might have called this the third eye. If I did, my apologies a little bit later. But now we go to the third eye chakra indeed, the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is a place where you are bringing fresh energy and inspiration to your ability to truly see. This, for many of you, is practicing gaining the skill of looking through the darkness, looking through time, looking beyond things, through things. This is your ability to see what really matters, to help you connect with other powerful aspects of the universe, the divine, your partners, experiences of former lives, to see through your desires, to follow them through, to understand where they originate, And there looks as though there is a new appreciation, a new recognition of those powers. The third eye is all about truly seeing. This is about, just as the throat chakra is about speaking the truth, the third eye chakra is about seeing the truth. Seeing the truth through eternity, whatever that means to you. But you bring an openness to this, a willingness to discover. For many of you, you're in early stages of practicing, awakening your third eye, your consciousness of your ability to see. All of us have so-called psychic abilities. We're all intuitive. And for many of you, you're recognizing this is a place where you can truly grow. And in the crown chakra being that portal through which we connect with divinity, through which we gain our protection, through which we claim our light to be here in the world, to be of service to others, to offer our gifts to the community. The Ten of Pentacles couldn't be more fitting. This is where we are considering our legacy, not simply the things we've accomplished or haven't accomplished, not simply looking at the community that has served us, where we have gained our privileges and access, but the ways that we recognize that whatever we have, however modest it may be, we're in a position to help others to gain the same. And this is often looked at as a place where we are generous, philanthropic, where we are charitable, where we create institutions, organizations, and services that help others. But this is more than that. It is as well a way in which you are extending the privilege of being alive and participating in an abundant world. And whatever you've learned of that, whatever you've gained from that, you recognize that others deserve and have, you want to provide that access to them, to others who are in need of these services, in need of the information you have, so that they too can generate abundance. And what I love about the Ten of Pentacles is not only that it is a number 10, the number of change, but it's also about the way that change generates more change. So as you're helping others, for many of us, it's people who are younger, who haven't had the privilege of our access. We are seeding their ability to generate their own abundance so that they too can do the same. This is about security and stability and abundance on your own terms. This is the recognition that it isn't just about prosperity or wealth in the terms in a financial or economic sense. This is about appreciation and the ability to utilize the bounty of the earth in whatever way that is understandable to you. I'm going to clarify first the heart chakra. Let's do it like this. I'm going to use the Crow Tarot, our messengers between worlds, are sometimes ancestors who visit us, who protect us, who look in on us. And in the past, we have the devil. And in the future, we have the Three of Cups again. This is very lovely. And I'm going to go ahead and clarify the throat chakra, the Three of Cups, with the Justice card again, and the Seven of Swords. Beautiful. So it gives me great pleasure to see a couple of repeats and to really identify this layer as the past, this layer as the future. So, coming from the space of your heart, claiming your desire, centering yourself, recognizing that in order to be effective, you need the sacred space that honors and does not distract from the exercise of your gifts. That is a priority. That's why you're here. And the Three of Cups is indicating that the support, the appreciation of the value of what you bring is there for you. The Devil indicates, I think, a reflection on the first chakra, the Justice card, as it's also alongside the Justice card in the throat chakra. So I do feel that these cards are working together very intimately to help you objectify those things that once occurred to you, impacted you as the expectations of others, society, conditioning, norms, conformity that you struggled with and learned to find your way through. So, what it was that you were expected to do, the responsibilities that you were expected to take on, you have learned to recognize those, meet those as you could meet them, and then recognized at some point that those commitments, that responsibility had to become internal. That was part of the gifts of your heart, the responsibility that entailed. So those with great gifts are due great responsibilities, or however that adage works. I hope you understand what I'm saying. To be so free, to be so gifted, as the world indicates here, you have much responsibility to others. To use those gifts responsibly so that they not only benefit you, but you are in alignment with the benefit to others as well. So here you are at a place of understanding, having gone through many trials. Perhaps for some of you, you have overcome personal addictions in any form: food, drugs, alcohol, relationships, sex, whatever it is that is compulsively and is a compulsive escape from your responsibilities or your presence, your body, wanting to get away from your body, wanting to escape the struggles, the disease, the imbalances in your physical world. This is you owning up to what that responsibility is really about, how you wield your power, how you wield your gifts in the world. And you're apparently doing a beautiful job, because you are moving into this acknowledgement of support, not just the support that you have uh, encircled around you, but the support that you gain as you continue to offer your experiences, your gift, your service to others. And there's a lot of vulnerability involved here. There's a lot of hard work, persistence, overcoming a lot of challenges for many of you that I'm reading to get to this place where you feel safe to offer your intimate story, your intimate process to others. Because this is a lot about process that I'm seeing. The message is in the medium. I'm dating myself, Marshall McLuhan of the 60s or 70s, around how you do things is as important as what you do. And so I'm seeing this here. The way that you're learning to love yourself, allow yourself to be vulnerable, is important to others, recognizing your worthiness to be trusted. And in the throat chakra, we have the Justice once again in the past position. So this is really going back to how hard you have worked to earn the love, support, to be the friend, to be the ally, to be the support, to recognize the value and gifts of others, how hard you've worked to balance that. And I suspect for many of you, that there was a time in which you were envious of others, resented others with whom you worked because you didn't feel like they were doing their part. And you've really learned to address that within yourself through some way that you overperformed or overgave in situations because you thought you were expected to, and even more so that if you did that, that others would do the same. And you've learned that it doesn't work like that. You can only control your activity, your gifts, your effort. And by measuring that, by recognizing that you have clear and firm, healthy boundaries, that you actually inspire in others the ability to take responsibility for what is their part. What you do encounter is often, and this is nothing new for you, a lot of suspicion. Now that you have overcome your sense of jealousy, the desire to point fingers or blame others, you're encountering others who are inclined to do the same towards your efforts, your ideas. Uh, this is those that are suspicious, that want to make you wrong, that you represent something unknown, something uncomfortable, something that is beyond their reach or scope or desire, and how that your performance of that threatens them. Having encountered that not only within yourself but along your path, by now you have learned that you do not internalize the opinions of others, the bad acting or behavior of others towards you, the denouncing, the cutting you off, the lack of support, the making fun of you, the not taking you seriously, the dismissal of your efforts. You've released that. You understand that that isn't your problem truly, that your efforts, your energy goes into doing what you do on the basis of your sense of responsibility to the community, to the effort. And that others that are critical of that, or even worse, that attack you personally, are misaligned, are wounded, and you're aware of this. They're hurting. They don't understand. They're afraid of what you do. They're afraid of understanding or approaching you as an equal. And so you have released that energy. You are aware that you can gain support from multiple arenas, other people that believe in you. This is reinforced again, repeated again, and that you are actually serving a larger community, and that that's where your efforts go towards. This is just part of success, and you're coming to understand that everyone isn't going to like what you do. Everyone isn't going to understand what you do or encourage you to do more. Encourage you to move into this unknown realm, unknown to them, fearful to them. Keep your head down. Is really the message I believe that you are getting from many who you believed were allies or loved ones. But you've learned how to insulate yourself, protect yourself from this. Because you share what you have, what you know with others, you are familiar that it isn't always going to be received in the spirit that you're offering it. I'm going to complete this reading here, and I think I'm going to pull just a final oracle card. I hadn't really thought about this part of the reading. In fact, not. I'm going to close this reading out here. I think I've said enough. Thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate your likes, your subscribes, all the support that you give me. If you feel moved, please drop a comment, and I wish you all the best over this holiday season. Until next time, namaste.